Cost of living in Mauritius. Hello Displorers, welcome to another informative video presented to you by Displorer and thanks for watching. The housing, transportation, education and health cost of any country is a great indication of the cost of living of any country. The cost of living in Mauritius Island is the reflection of the quality of life, shown in how much is spent on housing, transport, education, and health. That is why in this video, we shall examine the cost of housing, transportation, education, and health in Mauritius to determine the cost of living in the country. But first, we need to understand what cost of living really is. The cost of living is the amount of money needed to cover basic expenses such as housing, food, taxes, and healthcare in a certain place and time period. The cost of living is often used to compare how expensive it is to live in one city versus another. The cost of living is tied to wages because if expenses are higher in a city, such as New York for example, salary levels must be higher so that people can afford to live in that city. The cost of living can be a significant factor in personal wealth accumulation because the salary can provide a higher standard of living in the country, where daily expenses such as rent, food, and entertainment are less. In contrast, a high salary can seem insufficient in an expensive country. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Overview of Mauritius. Mauritius Island is an incredible island destination renowned for its staggering natural beauty and phenomenal climate and boasts a developing economy described by the World Bank as an upper middle income economy. Yet taxes are still low and it is seen as being far more affordable than in many European and Western countries. Considered one of the top luxury destinations in the world, the cost of living in Mauritius is slightly higher than in some African and Asian nations. For example, the cost of living in Port Louis is exponentially more than in some parts of South Africa, India, and Thailand, but it's still more reasonable than major cities such as Paris, London, Sao Paulo, and New York. Food bought at supermarkets can account for up to 35% of an expert's monthly budget, making it one of the more expensive costs, but local products such as seasonal fruits and vegetables, as well as Mauritian-made products such as tea, are quite reasonable and are best bought at local markets where they are cheaper. International supermarkets that stock imported products have similar prices to those found in Europe, which is why to reduce your cost of living, you should frequent the local markets. To get a full perspective of the cost of living in Mauritius, we need to know the salary ranges in the country, given that the cost of living is a reflection of the wages of the citizens. Salaries in Mauritius Island. The total average salary including bonuses for people working in Mauritius is typically from $2,900, which is minimum salary, to $5,184, which is highest average, but actual maximum salary is higher. Salaries vary drastically among different job categories. The median salary is $1,092 per month, which means that half of the population are earning less than $1,092, while the other half are earning more than $1,092. The median represents the middle salary value. Generally speaking, you would want to be on the right side of the graph with a group earning more than the median salary to live a comfortable life in Mauritius. Salaries change based on education and varies drastically from one location to another and depends hugely on the career field as well. Workers with a certificate or diploma earn an average 17% more than their peers who only reached the high school level. Employees who earned a bachelor's degree earn 24% more than those who only managed to attain a certificate or a diploma. Professionals who attained a master's degree are awarded salaries that are 29% more than those with a bachelor's degree. Finally, PhD holders earn 23% more than master's degree holders on average, while doing the same job in Mauritius Island. Cost of accommodation in Mauritius. While still cheaper than in cities such as London, housing in Mauritius costs around 45% less than in London. The cost of living in Mauritius when it comes to rent is quite high, especially in the heart of Port Louis. Port Louis is the economic center of Mauritius and is thus where a huge portion of the population lives. Rentals tend to be cheaper outside the city center, but you can pay anything from $235.71 to $694.53 for a 1 to 3 bedroom apartment in Port Louis, not including utilities. The cost of utilities in Mauritius can greatly increase the cost of accommodations. Utilities such as heating, electricity, gas for one person in a 45-meter square studio can cost up to $20 a month. Cost of transportation in Mauritius. Transport costs can account for a big chunk of your monthly budget as an expat or your travel budget as a traveler, so it's good to know what you might be in for. There are many options for transport in Mauritius, but it's very largely on the road since Mauritius doesn't have railways. There is a good public transport in Mauritius, namely in the form of buses and taxis, but travelers or expats can also rent a car. It's best to negotiate taxi fees before getting into the car, as there are typically no meters. One-way bus ticket may cost $0.46, while a taxi per kilometer will cost you $2.88. Students are eligible to get a student bus pass for their daily commuting route, which costs around $8 per academic year. However, the students are at liberty to use taxi services that start from $3, but if you decide to get a car instead, a new Volkswagen Golf or equivalent will cost you about $17,699, and a liter of petrol costs about $1.28. Cost of education. Pre-primary, primary, secondary to tertiary education in Mauritius are provided by the government for free. Studying in Mauritius can give you a world-class experience to witness international standards of education. In Mauritius, there are two types of universities, private as well as government, though the government universities have negligible fee, whereas the fees of the private universities are a little expensive. Once you have decided to study in any of the above universities, then the cost varies from university and its location. Private international universities start from $1,500 for tuition fee, and the tuition fee will vary depending on the type of qualification and the university or college you opt for. Therefore, the average fee structure for vocational education and training costs from $1,700 to $4,500, while undergraduate bachelor degree from $6,000 to $12,000 annually, and postgraduate master's degree from $6,700 to $15,000 annually. Cost of healthcare. Whether you're an expat, global citizen, or a digital nomad living in Mauritius, it is vital to know and understand how the country's healthcare system functions and how much it costs. Mauritius has two categories, public and private sectors, and citizens as well as expats can make use of this country's public health services. Expats can further make their stay in Mauritius convenient by procuring an excellent international health insurance plan before coming to the country. Mauritius has 5 regional and 2 district hospitals, and some hospitals specialize in specific domains. Healthcare is free in public hospitals, whereas in private clinics and practices, it may be very costly. Many private clinics have advanced facilities due to high investment, which has promoted the medical tourism industry in Mauritius in a big way. Since private healthcare is expensive, it is wise to be insured under a health cover. Though the healthcare system in Mauritius is capable of treating most health conditions, you may have to travel overseas for specialized treatment. Réunion Island, India and South Africa are the favorite medical destinations for Mauritians to get the advanced treatment that is not available in their country. If you're an expat and need proper hassle-free care, you must buy a comprehensive insurance cover. Several dispensaries and hospitals in rural and urban areas throughout Mauritius provide public healthcare services. These services are entirely free of charge and available to every resident of the country. Apart from these public hospitals, there are several other health centers located in various parts of the island. Although public hospitals offer very economical services, they usually lack state-of-the-art infrastructure, equipment, or medication, and also have very long waiting times. Basic medications such as cold medicine like Tylenol, Frenadol, Coldrex cost about $5.53. A box of antibiotics $7.78, while a short 15 minutes visit to a private doctor $10.17. Conclusion: Mauritius Island stands as one of the most beautiful places to live in, but at what cost for the locals and expats alike? The country has a GDP per capita of $11,700 as of 2020, which is an improvement from 2019's $11,361. With a GDP per capita higher than most of its peer countries, Mauritius seems to have one of the highest per capita incomes in Africa, which implies a higher purchasing power, which in turn makes a lower cost of living for the citizens, meaning higher standards of living compared to other African countries. Besides, the expenditure of living in Mauritius by expats is comparatively low to countries like Australia, US, UK, France, Canada, as the Mauritian currency conversion is advantageous, and they earn high incomes working with international organizations. It is also especially good for foreign students as expenditure levels are 3 to 5 times lower than in countries like US, UK, Australia, Canada, or France. Mauritius has a decent cost of living that starts from $275 monthly, with the additional benefit of free public health services. Mauritius' cost of living is relatively low. There you have it, explorers. That was the cost of living in Mauritius. Thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy the video, do want to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends.